Jnana Yoga. When you do counseling, use these treasures. You will get additionally packed. Use these methods. Focus your nucleus on the destination of yoga. Your awareness may be changed. It might be changed. I can simply explain just I can give a summary about these 4 types of yogas, these 4 streams. First one is karma. In Indian situation, it can work more than any other culture. But one strange thing is that really I have got fortune to teach people from most of the countries of the world. Most of the European people from European countries, people from US, the countries like Middle East, people from Middle East, the genuine people from Middle East. I got the fortune to teach them. And what I have understood is that these people are more keen to listen what our ancient wisdom has told to the world. They are more keen to listen this. The problem sometimes they get sold when they are hearing the theories of Raja Yoga. 8 steps are there for Raja Yoga. There are 8 steps. I cannot elaborately explain here because of the time limitation. You can refer this book, Raja Yoga by Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda. These steps are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyanam, and Samadhi. Yama and Niyama, certain restrictions. We are trying to control others, we are trying to dominate others, but we never try to control ourselves. When I become more and more dominant towards a person, I become more and more slave towards me, and it creates inner conflict. Western people actually, they prefer freedom very much. Everyone prefers freedom. The final destination of life is freedom. In Indian spirituality, we have given another name for freedom, that is moksha. That is again freedom only. People are striving for money because they want financial freedom. People are dragged into emotions because they want emotional freedom. In that way, in Raja Yoga, it says, okay, you are free from everything. As the Western people say, okay, you can free from your parents, tradition, you can live in your own way, but are you free from yourselves? Vivekananda asks, if I flatter you, if I say good words to you, you are happy. If I abuse you, if I say something negative about you, you are sad. So, remote control of your emotion is in my hand, in my words. Isn't it? So when your nucleus is in when you are bothering about, when you are aware about your nucleus, you can understand very well that, okay, this person is talking a reflection, an image of mine in his own awareness, not the real me. So I have no need to bother about this. So, Yama. Means Yama is not Kalan, the god of death, not that Yama. It is some kind of restrictions. Some certain restrictions are very difficult to follow. To a certain extent, try to be honest. That is one thing. Mental cleanliness. You know, the mental cleanliness, the word the Americans nowadays, they use the mental hygiene. They use the word again and again. But the same thing has written in Skandopanishad. Abheda darshanam jnanam snanam mano malatyaha shaujam indriya nigraha. Shaujam indriya nigraha. The mental cleanness happens when you control, when you master your emotions. Not for the other person, for yourself. In order to increase your self-esteem, your self-monitoring. It is very good if you try that, okay, I have an infatuation towards this subject, I have an infatuation towards this person, or I have an infatuation towards this food. So today onwards, I am controlling. I just try to give it up. Let me see what is going to happen. Here the fight, here the domination begins. You and your impulses. Now you can ask, once a French lady asked me, why should I? Why should I do like that? If I like something very much, if it is tasty, why should I give it up? Okay, it may be tasty, but it may be dangerous also. Only if these things happen, or even then you can do that. If it is good for you, if it is good for all others, okay, you can continue. Still 40 is okay. All laddu, jalebi and all these sweets are very nice, ice cream. After 40, once the sugar is tested, the same thing can be negative. But the desire is still there. So the proportion or the dosage of insulin is getting increased. We find out the solution. Swallowing more and more drugs. So I was talking, Abheda darshanam jnanam. When you stop the discrimination, Abheda darshanam. When you stop the discrimination, it is the real knowledge. Snanam mano malatyahaga. The real bath is cleaning the impurities from the mind. And shaujam indriya nigrahaka. When you control your indriya senses, that means mental cleanliness. So no need to open widely your eyes and open your mouth like this when the American says mental hygiene. It is not a new word. We are very much familiar with these things. The people were lived following these systems. Then comes asteyam, brahmacharya, celibacy. The word meaning of brahmacharya is one who travels with Brahma. I am not explaining more. One who travels with Brahma means one who travels with the ultimate truths. Ultimately, who am I? That's it. I told earlier that you can face a person, you can give counseling without prejudice. How? That's what I am talking about it now. This awareness that the Mahavakyas of Veda says, there are 4 Mahavakyas. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. Both are saying, all these four Mahavakyas says the same thing. You are pure consciousness. You are something beyond your mind, which is not mortal, which is eternal. Once this knowledge is coming into you, not in your intelligence, but in your emotional mind, in your blood, when this knowledge comes that I am beyond my mind, there is something, that awareness, then I can drop, I can see my ego, how it works. At least I can see that. And the Raja Yoga teaches you how to reach into this place. Through Yama, Niyama and Asana, we all know that in Yogasanas are very popular all over the world now. But anyway, it is not for the perfection or it is not for the purpose what I am talking, but in order to anti-aging and in order to how to keep slim beauty, people practice yoga. And in order to maintain their physical health, people practice yoga. And nowadays people think that yoga means these asanas, yogasanas. People are not aware that yoga has other meanings and other steps. People see that I am going to study yoga. What is the meaning? The yoga exercise or yogasanas. That is only the one step of this eight-folded system. Fourth one is pranayama. I told you earlier. If you practice pranayama, suddenly, definitely I will recommend everyone who is counseling, if a person comes with a tensed mind, with anxiety, first of all give that relaxation of pranayama. It's very easy to learn also. If you didn't know about it, it's very easy to learn. It needs only 20 minutes to study pranayama. And you can give this exercise to the clients. After pranayama comes a very important thing. Now listen. Asanas, yogasanas are for body. Pranayama is for breath, for prana, vital energy. Now it comes to mind. When it comes to mind, now it is pratyahara. Pratyahara is not related with food. Even though the word ahara is there, it has no connection with the food. Pratyahara means withdrawing or pulling back your mind from the external objects. Now find out your universe, your nucleus. Now the commands are going from you, not into you. You are not behaving according to the external stimulus. The inner world controls. The commander is now inside, not the senses. In Kadaupanishad it says, Atmanam Radhinam Vidhi Shariram Radame Vadu Buddhim Dussaradim Vidhi Manaha Pragahame Vaja means Atmanam Radhinam Vidhi means the soul is a traveler. I purposefully not using the word soul here. This is the first time I am using the word soul because that is the right translation for Atma. Your body is a chariot. We can consider it as a vehicle or a car. Your body is a car. Your body is a chariot. There are horses, that means the senses, in front of the chariot. There is a rope which controls these horses, and that is your mind. And there is a sarathi, a driver, which controls this rope, and that is your intelligence. And if the senses are controlled by the rope and the rope is controlled by the driver or the sarathi, then this chariot, this body will go smoothly. The life will go smoothly. If there is no contact between this rope and this driver, the senses will lead the body, the chariot, in its own way. and definitely we will fall into some pitfalls. This is Pratyaharam. The people who were always successful in life, the people who are successful in any field of the life, they have this control over them. They are focused. In order to get mental health, this consistency is the most important thing. Find out your nucleus and leave there. Center, fix in your awareness, not in some other's awareness. Be confident about yourself. Because as I told you earlier, you only perfectly know. Otherwise, you only can perfectly know your world of awareness, how it is moving, what gives you positives and what gives you negatives. No other person can. So try to find out this subjective reality. Once you find out this subjective reality of your life, you can give guidance to others also. Unconscious activities happening with you. Your brain may be sharply listen to me, but at the same time listen to your body. How many movements, how many actions, how many interpretations. With each and every moment it reflects. How many previous knowledges flow inside. It collapses, it fights. The word Vidyarthi is a very meaningful word in Sanskrit. The word meaning is one who begs knowledge is a Vidyarthi, one who begs knowledge. Why this term beg? Arthikya means begging. Why this word? Because begging person has no ego. He is vacuum. When he is vacuum, there is a lot of space. The knowledge can easily flow. But if someone is in his ego, it is a block. New knowledge cannot come. There is a famous story regarding, it is a story from Zen Buddhism. A professor, a very well-learned professor who has a PhD in Vedanta, he was actually approaching a Zen guru. And suddenly he saw the guru was sitting there very calmly, without any jargon, very silent. And the professor began to ask the questions. What happens after the body leaves? What is the purpose of my life? What is the destination of soul? All kind of complicated questions. And he said in Vedanta says like this, Mimamsa says in other ways, modern psychology, parapsychology, telepathy, all these things he was explaining. The guru was not listening him. There was a jug and a glass. In the jug there was tea. And he was pouring the tea into this glass. The glass was filled and it began to overflow. Now the professor watched what this person is doing. He is doing something absurd. It is overflowing, the tea is in the teapot, it is flowing again and again, and what is happening? So at last he asked, I thought you were a great person. Now I understood you have some problem. So I am going. You cannot clear my doubts. Now the Zen Guru said, they use words very calculated. He said, you are like this glass and tea. The story ends. It means you are completely packed. It is filled. Your ego is filled. No new knowledge can enter. It is overflowing. Whatever I explain, you cannot perceive it because there is no space. That's why even Maharishi Aurobindo says, be dissatisfied. Even if you are a spiritual sadhaka, be dissatisfied. Otherwise, you cannot explore new realms of knowledge. Pratyahara means, in Raja Yoga, Pratyahara means pulling back, withdrawal your senses. Once you withdraw your senses, you get knowledge of what you have to do, that is dharana. Now you can understand what you have to do. That is called swadharma. Krishna says, do swadharma, swakarma, swadharma. The very important word is, do your own karma. He never said, do karma. This is karma yoga. He said, do your karma. There is a big difference between do karma and do your karma. How can you recognize it? Very easy. All of you are occupied professionally, I think so. And if you feel that, if you have a genuine feeling that this is not my purpose, this is my job, and it gives me tension only, when I am not into this job, when I am going back to my home and watching TV, I am getting relaxed, that means it is not your karma. You are doing some other's karma for some other purpose. And if it is your karma, you never feel that I am doing a job. You never feel it. You enjoy it thoroughly. It's a happy event. As someone told here earlier, it's a happy event. Now you are enjoying it. As Rahul Dravid, the famous cricket player, once told, my hobby was cricket playing. That became my job. And that gave me money, popularity. So I am most fortunate. So Dravid never feels that when he is in the crease, he never feels that, oh, now I have to do a job. He cannot, because he is enjoying the work. This enjoyment can develop in any area of profession if you are creative. Then family counseling can never be a boring thing. Life will be fresh in every morning. Why? Because you are creative. Every person is a new problem, a new issue. You are not depending the old methods. Now you begin to create a new proportion. You are experimenting it. You are trying it. So it is a challenge. Just like a scientist can never get bored when he is in lab. How can he get bored? How can a software engineer can get bored when he is in front of a computer? Never. An artist can never get bored when he is with his canvas. A poet cannot when he is writing a poem. Swadharma, swakarma is very important. So when a depressed person is there, asking some advice, counseling, you can seek out this. What is he doing? What is the situation of his job or employment? After dharana, dhanam. In Raja Yoga it is dhanam or meditation. Dhyanam nirvishayam manaha. Nowadays there are a lot of research regarding meditation, and there are so many evidence that meditation is the best method for relaxation. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It creates calm hormones like serotonin, melatonin, which can be helpful for good sleep. When you do meditation, the metabolism in body is get reduced more than deep sleep. It's a wonderful discovery that the metabolism of body and the consumption of oxygen is getting reduced more than deep sleep. But it should be a meditation, not closing your eyes and sit thinking something. That is not meditation. So this quiet and calm state creates endorphins. You feel a kind of calmness. First of all, as I told in the beginning of the class, equilibrium state of mind. Then from that equilibrium state of mind, a happiness comes. It doesn't mean that you have to sit somewhere in Padmasana with great difficulty, closing your eyes and chanting mantras loudly without the attention of mind. It is not needed. These are the methods, certain methods only, but it is not necessary. If your mind is meditative, depends upon the subject. There are so many people who are meditative even in their day-to-day activities. This happiness you feel. There is a difference between this happiness and the happiness you get from the external factors. When someone gets a new dress, when someone gets a lottery, an unexpected fortune, an appreciation, we are happy, but this happiness has an external reason. But here, without any reason, your mind becomes happy. So wherever you go, you are going with holding this happiness and freshness. Then you won't get tired. You are ever fresh. It's the fortune. It's really a lucky thing that if you can be fresh till you sleep. Krishna says in Gita again, wherever you see freshness, wherever you see freshness, wherever you see activity, I am there. That freshness creates a kind of beauty and charmness. That's why he said truth is beauty and beauty is truth. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram is also in the same meaning. So in meditation, relaxation happens. At the same time, meditation can be useful for improving your alertness, your vigilant nature. That is very important for mental health. Alert, be conscious. Most of the accidents, most of the tragedies happens when the activities become unconscious. Most of the murders, clashes, ego problems happens when you become unconscious. Unconscious in another meaning I am using, not fading or giddiness. I am not talking about that. There are conscious activities and unconscious activities. As I told you earlier, while your brain is keenly observing what I am talking, sometimes your body, sometimes your inner consciousness are doing certain other things. And you are counselors, so I can say that if you observe the client's unconscious actions, it is very interesting. It's very interesting that you can find out their nervous mannerisms sometimes. If someone says that I am not get tensed, I am very confident. But if nail biting is there, if his hands are like this, that itself means, if some actions are continuously practicing, that itself means that he is tensed, in spite of his confidence and his assurance. So this is Dhyanam or meditation. Patanjali in yoga, Raja Yoga, it is actually a different purpose. He says in meditation, your mind should be focused on that supreme truth, which is beyond mind. Try to understand and try to break the golden plate of intelligence. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya vihidam mugam. The golden plate of intelligence is there. Nishavasim says, this intelligence is very good. It has given us a lot of things. All the materialistic benefits we are enjoying in this life now, in this 21st century, is because of this intelligence. But still, it covers the truth. So, break the golden plate of intelligence through this meditation. Then, you can become a viewer. Now you are a viewer of your own ego. Now I am a viewer. So I can see a person is here, he is talking about something related with his knowledge and all these things. The viewer is different. When the viewer is different, when you can see separatingly yourself, easily you can see the others also as themselves. This is what I told in the beginning, that we can approach a person without prejudice if you can see yourself as a viewer. The final stage is Samadhi. I am not talking about this Samadhi because it is not important now. And the people usually nowadays think that Samadhi means the death of a saint, a Swami. So, because in newspapers we are reading like that. Such and such Swamis are in Samadhi, got Samadhi. That means he died. Actually, Samadhi is a state of consciousness, a state of awareness, in which your mind and universal mind is united. There is no difference. So these are the 8 folds of yoga, Ashtanga yoga in Raja Yoga. Another method you can explain is Karma Yoga. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma parishakadadina, the most famous mantra of Bhagavad Gita. You have the authority to do karma, not the authority to expect anxiously the desires, the results. Why Krishna says like this? Do your karma with all your good efforts, but don't eagerly expect the result. Because even if you do the karma with all your efforts, the result may be negative. And once the result may be negative, you become depressed. And if this mantra is in your mind, you will never get depressed. The depression is over. Solved the problem. And if the doorship is not with me, he says in Sangha Yoga, you are not doing any karma. The nature inside you, the software inside you, creating the karmas in this way. That means you have no doorship. You are not the subject. That means you are not anxious now. I am not the subject, then why should I am anxious? No anxiety. Truth reveals in these ways. I may complete this session by saying 3 qualities of mind. You may be familiar about this. I am not talking purposefully more about the psychological symptoms of depression, OCD or certain things, because there are so many opportunities, there are so many information centers for you to acquire these things. You just need to go to the Google and search out, you will get all these things. So the symptoms of depression or obsessive compulsive disorder, it is very easy to understand. But these things what I am saying is a forgotten knowledge, our own treasure, which we deliberately try to forget. Now, the three qualities of mind, the three components of a thought, how a thought originates, why I am thinking like this, why I am perceiving like this, why I am acting in such a situation in such a way. Is there a reason behind this? I usually like to say that thought is always a compound. Thought is like an atom. If thought is an atom, there are three basic elements there. And there, as in atom, there is electron, proton and neutron. We have three qualities and they are called Sattvam, Rajasa, Tamasa. Sattva quality, Rajo quality and Tamo quality. We all are actually thinking, depends upon the proportion of